sound nice. Check 1. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Do my mic sound nice? Can y'all tell me? It's cool now. It's cool. Alright.
Just listen to the way I display the spit spray like a K. Charge me for the track, I'ma make the mic pay. He ain't nothing but a no good felon, they might say. But his words precious like proverbs and they selling like yay. It's just the truth about what happened, I don't tell it my way. Like a truck, I fuck over whoever the hell in my way. Don't doubt it, I'm bout it, done did dirt untold. And when we had to unload, always the first one rolled. I'm a rider, and that seems to keep these females choosing. Catch me moving to Manchester in that CL cruising. Got class, but I can't deny these Eastie roots. I just feel better in some khakis than in a three-piece suit. And them diamonds look so good up against this dark skin. Billy paid for just like that garage is porked in. Know you wanna catch me slipping, but you'll never get the chance. Know you're plotting, try to put your plans together in advance.
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. No. I'm amazing. I'm heated when I'm in my ride. My G-Waves got these old shoes and every night. I'm amazing. Dripping nigga, dipping on candy. These hitters can't stand me, 'cause I'm amazing.
I'm a natural, never nervous, trying to let them understand that I'm amazing with my pistol and even better with my hands. In the booth, I'm a beast, it's like my home away from home. Vocal tones make the track cry and moan the way it moan. I shine hard on that stage, all my shows are selling out. Spotted look, you this shit is what these hoes yelling out. I can't disagree with them, I sound beside myself. But who's the West kept secret beside myself? I'm the best, bangadocious, it don't get no better. That's why I get more cheddar, because I spit more wetter. They can bag up my body, but can't bury my words. They in the heart of all the riders, every area heard. A few try to go against me, but they all be defeated. Y'all see it, I'm heated, but y'all call me conceited. I'm more than just nice, I'm like amazing times 10. Niggas swear the fix is in from how often I win.
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. No. I'm amazing. I'm heated when I'm in my ride. My G-Waves got these old shoes and every night. I'm amazing. Dripping nigga, dipping on candy. These hitters can't stand me, 'cause I'm amazing.
Mic check, mic, my mic sound nice. My mic sound nice. I done checked that thing twice. My mic sound clean. Oh my mama, you know what though? Because the way that thing went, I went and deleted that live, that little short little effort. I deleted it. And I realized because I deleted it, they didn't mess around and change the title back to the last slide. They changed the thumbnail. I just learned how YouTube worked. I imagine had I just left that little bunk one up and just came right back live, then all that wouldn't have changed. So I would know if we ever run into that scenario ever again. I know not to delete it immediately until I come back and then delete it. But you know, you live and you learn. Y'all know the process. I hate the fact that we lost so many people that was in here chopping it up with us, but we just gonna get into it, man. Oh my mama, I ain't gonna try to recreate the moment which is past. We just gonna go from here, you dig a lies. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Oh my mama.
I ain't nothing like you fucking rap niggas.
I'm just saying, cuz, alright, splits, then this. First it looked like, I don't know if any of y'all ever been to a step dance. So, or a step show. If you've ever been to a step show, you'll see like fraternity dudes get on the ground and they'll over exaggerate having sex with nobody though. They're just like in a group and they'll do these moves, and like at first it looked like, you know, I'm trying to give as many passes as possible to everybody, because you know what we do here, cuz y'all ask me questions, we just don't do it out the chat no more, y'all send it to the DM. So this is content that y'all sent, right? So I know y'all think and I see that you're getting a lot closer, y'all over and under understanding how I think, so y'all know, you can kind of like assume what my reaction to this clip would be, right? I tried to look at it like from a gang of different perspectives, because like a few months ago it was a clip y'all was sending me, cuz like was standing in the camera with a couple other dudes, he was kind of shimmying. I seen him shimmy, I'm like, I ain't gonna jump on cuz just went to, well, I don't dance. So it's probably a lot of just regular dance moves that dudes do that's cool that I wouldn't do. So I'm not finna get on everybody's head that ain't exactly like me. However, dropping down, doing the splits, and then the move that I thought was the fraternity humping the ground move. Out, when you turn around and look back, that's like you getting back shots. Am I lying? Just watch it with me again, y'all. It's just, am I tripping? Cause on my gripping, cause manhood look like it's slipping, dipping. I don't know. I don't understand like how a motherfucker that just did a stretch and comfortable conducting himself in such a manner. It's hard for me to imagine where you fit in the system other than not with the wolves. But you know, it seems because carries a certain reputation of being from amongst the wolves. But we just gonna look at it, y'all. Tell me, am I tripping? Look at that. What is he looking at? Cuz that's like when you serve it, that's what she do. She look back over there and show what that. Man, cuz if being like and amongst this type of energy is what it takes to in a certain room,
I ain't nothing like you from your rap niggas.
on my mama, I never be in them rooms. I'm just saying, cuz we just gotta look at this one more time though, cuz this is amazingly, awesomely shocking for me to see this man contort his body in such a fashion. I really, really, really believe he got to be under the influence of something that's really taking over at this moment. I remember seeing, yeah, see, cause the homie even know, cause something. I remember seeing Michael Jackson do an interview. And the person that was interviewing him asked him, why does he always grab his crotch? You know how he used to always grab his crotch and do that move when he performed? And he said he don't know why. The music just takes over. He don't even realize he's doing it. I think cuz. But then we see Mike used to get high. He probably wasn't fully aware through all the antics we seen him experience in the public. We didn't know until he passed how high he used to get. Now, I would imagine somebody that was off propofol to go to sleep, to stay up, ain't no telling what type of stimulants he used to indulge in. But I just can't help it, cause like it's hard to be feeling like you the one. And then, you know, the arrogance that comes with making that type of statement. And even though good-looking Aaron Collins, good-looking Hannick Milligan, you know, the type of cockiness of, even though in hip-hop, you know, there's a lot of room left, allowed for braggadocious. It was like the spirit of it from day uno. I'm the one, I'm the best, you're supposed to believe that. So that's cool, but we talking about outside of hip hop as far as talent is concerned, and then just character. I would love to feel like there was a fraternity of my peers, hip hop wise, that you know, are similar to me. But the more that I analyze, I see that I am definitely nothing like none of the cuz. From if you just look in general, cuz this the gangsterish hip hop got to offer, like as far as experience wise, kept it solid. You know what I'm saying? Mainstream. I know he talked that shit on records, and he was just looking like he was getting backshots, cuz. I got 3 sons, cuz. I'll sock the shit out of them if any of them was to ever let me catch, man, oh my mama. Cuz did the splits and then bent over like he was getting hit with the shit. Hey, I hate to toot my horn, but SPI is the one.
Try to throw mud on my real name. Turn around and show love when the deal came. Make me wonder if they feel shame. I ain't tripping, I'ma kill game. Showed up to your show, it was so boring. Wasted time, nothing to show for it. Took my little bitch, we was both snoring. Probably had a better time going snowboard. Poor loser, always been a bad sport. Could have court, won't go if my bag's short. Fast forward, smash for it, don't ask for it. First class stamps on my passport. Tricky shit transpired on the transport. Get busy, keep that fire in the Jansport. Everything for sale, nothing is priceless. Aggressive, decisive, discussing the prices. This might be a war with us and the ISIS. Cause the hustlers fuck with the Pisces. 32 in the clip, 216s. Could have seen take tripping to true extremes.
They counted me out, they should have counted me in. Cause I'm counting these Benjamins. Take a loss, stay down, bounce back, I'ma be okay. Said I'm still making these money moves. I'm a fucking boss.
Making sure my name was mentioned at the end of the day was my main intentions. The popos promoted gang prevention. I was popping at the ops, not paying attention. A and SK, hanging extensions. Whipping them chickens, I stayed in the kitchen. Believe that crime pays in the pension. Been out the pictures since my days in detention. Making maneuvers through mazes and missions. Magical movements, amazing magicians. Mama used to say pray for wisdom. Shut up a couple prayers on my way to prison. Backyard boogies be banging functions. Hard to hang in the hood, we got a gang injunction. Straight from young niggas trying to trade me toolies. Had to told him that 40 my favorite foolie.
They counted me out, they should have counted me in. Cause I'm counting these Benjamins. Take a loss, stay down, bounce back, I'ma be okay. Said I'm still making these money moves. I'm a fucking boss.
The Men's Central Jail is on lockdown right now, while officials there check out reports that an inmate has a gun. Right now, it's just a search, and the lockdown is, of course, a precaution. Sky 9 over the scene right now. Will continue following this situation and bring you updates as soon as we get them.
Oh, my mama. Can you imagine, cuz? One thing you always have been able to say, yeah, nigga, you ain't no guns in jail. So it's like people that live behind that pistol on the streets don't really have no man courage to face their op. Mano a mano, the phrase has always been coined. Shit, ain't no pistols behind that wall. Could you imagine functioning, having to do whatever you have to do, be active, defend yourself, even be on the offense or whatever, and riot break out, whatever the case may be, and somebody pop out with a burner? Then the question goes, first of all, the size of it. When I first seen this clip, I showed it to my son, and then, I posed the question. It comes to mind, your boy Asanova, because he was pretty candid and vivid about how much contraband he was capable of containing within the realms of his anal cavity on the Breakfast Club. He named quite a few items that he would be responsible for storing in that region at once. I would imagine if you weighed them all out that he mentioned, you would get something like over a pound or better. So I was showing my son some of the smallest weapons that I was aware of online, which were the Derringer pistols. So I would imagine, jail. I could be wrong, totally wrong, but I imagine a gun in jail, it would be quite small. And I would imagine that perhaps the possibility is definitely there, that it took the same path that Asanova tends to celebrate, that he is a champion. He runs the Underground Railroad right through him. And then he talks about, I don't get no visits and you know my body and all that. Them different type of cats. I think that's like, he'll probably stand backstage and watch Shmurda do them back shots and be like, yo son, you cute. What's black and blood? Do that shit again, son. Can you imagine, cuz? Chilling with your homie, he feeling good, I don't care. I got some homies that dance, they do they stuffuses. You digitalize, but then your homie pop down in the split. I might even take that split. Alright, you hella athletic and all that, and you know how to get, you do a split, you with your shit. But cuz, when you flip over on all four and get the whopping and popping it and hopping it like it's hot, and then look back over your shoulder like she do when you hold a ponytail, but that's a female. I'm just wondering what he thinking and what he see. Well, I really don't want to know. We different. I just know that the Google gang listen, and keeping it to Google, that's my mission. It seems for that there's no competition. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, but that story, is just amazing to me that a burner found its way inside the county jail. I would be interested to hear an update on that one, like how y'all think that's gonna turn out. They locked that thing down looking for it. And just think, whoever had it obviously let somebody else know. And then because of that, I don't know how many somebodies, but the authorities know, and they locked that whole thing down. That's information, bro. Y'all want to know why the game is dead and over as far as crimes and the code? Because first of all, if you affiliated with anything, it ain't supposed to go outside that circle if you end up with any kind of weapon, regardless of what it is. To that extreme, I couldn't imagine you having it for one, and then if you're affiliated with something, letting that information outside your circle, unless you was trying to sell it. But then in the event that it's only your circle, most likely to seem that somebody from within would have told. That's crazy. Imagine that. And once again, I can't confirm that, but when I see a story similar to that, these are the things that run through my mind. I've been in that county jail. Uncountable amount of times. I can remember being in that month, and then being young enough to where now, like when you pass it on the freeway, it's like, dang, I've been in the county jail. And I remember being like young enough to feel like jail was something that, you naturally would have a disdain for, or a fear, or something you wouldn't want to go to. And then I remember that feeling decreasing or subsiding for two things. For one, my mother used to take me to the county jail with her to visit two Martells. First, her brother, my Uncle Brody, who was born on March 4th. And then my brother Martell, I didn't go with my mother to see him, but I would go with my father and his mother, who also was born on May 4th, not March 4th, that's what I said. They both were born on May 4th. My father, yes, named my brother after my mother's brother. So they was born on the same day, and then they got the same name, and for a long time lived similar lifestyles. However, just as far as crime, rest in peace to Uncle Brody, love you. That's his first name. His name is Brody Martell, but we call him Uncle Brody. But he go by Martell to all his partners, but my brother named Martell. But anyway, I remember even in the process of going up in there visiting and feeling like intimidated by the environment, and then being on the phone, looking at the other inmates and looking how grimy it is. I'm young though. But then when you get on the phone, when my uncle come out and get on the phone and talk, and then the way he just smiling and laughing, I know him from the streets. I know that, you know, I can be comfortable where he comfortable. So when he get up and laugh and walk back to that gate, and then he talking to some of them crazy niggas who look all crazy like they lesser than him, joking with him, clowning with him, talking shit. I'm like, okay, it ain't one thing. He'll disappear. And that increased when I started going to see Spider in the county jail. Cuz used to be so, he'll walk in the visit so turned up, hollering at cuz down there doing a visit, talking shit, whoop, whoop, whoop. He on the phone, he whoop, wop, wop, wop. And then he seemed so lit. It just, a lot of intimidation factor just had disappeared. You dig a lies? So that's just my experience at the county jail. Then after that, I remember going tons of times to what y'all know about the last 2 times I was in that motherfucker. Blew my mind. They get the J cards. I think that's what they call them. It's the cards with all your information on them. Everybody that's finna make this move, they gonna walk you in the line. They have all your cards in the line, how you is in line. And then they call my name, like, I'm getting called out the first group. And then when we get in the line, start moving to the unit, everybody in the line happy like, yeah, we out, we getting out of here. We going to the old man dorm. It's chill in there, ain't no bullshit. Everybody get along, TVs and I'm like, damn, I done made it from way back then to now. When I go to the county jail, I go automatically to the old man door. And it was chill at that thing, just like they said. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But it be murders in my city, though. A lot of them, like, they be everywhere. But I couldn't imagine one by burner in the county jail, though. That'd be crazy. Murder in my city.
RJ on the beat.
But it ain't murder in my city. This is murder in my city. Yeah, 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 yeah. Murder in my city. Turn to the news and they got that boy slipping. I don't know. Please tell me why they had to kill him. I don't know. But this is murder in my city. Murder in my city. This is murder in my city. Murder in my city. Yeah. Gotta watch who you hang with. Hadn't been around the block, they on that same shit. Yeah. Duck low, can't change it. Gotta figure this out, I gotta make it. And if they try to take it, it's yellow tape. I refuse to let them have what's on my plate. Watch out for my bro, that's my babe. Test him, then it's shots to the face. On the block, everybody need to hop to the truth. They ain't really hot as me though. Yeah, I got the treasure, yeah, it's all on me. Got them looking for it, finding Nemo. Shots, everybody get on the ground. That nigga got hit with it, yeah, make a sound. Remember when they killed Dennis, he was only 7. Yeah, my young boy, he is in there. Turn to the news and they got that boy slipping. I don't know. Please tell me why they had to kill him. I don't know. But this is murder in my city. Murder in my city. This is murder in my city. Murder in my city. Yeah.
On the dead low. Usually the crew won't move through the eulogy. You'll be plotting, popping, you a G. Who shooting, who driving, you and me. EC, keep that between you and me. That was 4, not least 2 or 3. Streets talk, just watch, you will see. On the set, never charge you a fee. And unless you agree, you a ye. Never been scared, never been phony. Air enemy in the area know me. Everywhere I go, I carry it on me. Cemetery ceremony, buried at home. Blue chucks, obituary struck up. Hope the preacher hurry up and shut the fuck up. View the murder victim, single file line. Violent vengeance, only thing on my mind. Murder.
They got that boy slipping. I don't know. Please tell me why they had to kill him. I don't know. But this is murder in my city. Murder in my city. This is murder in my city. Murder in my city. Yeah.
Murder in My City, available on all digital platforms. I pinned that comment because he said, yo, bro, I think the Oklahoma City County Jail is the worst jail on the planet, bro. Do your Googles. There is no need for me to do no Googles. Just ironically enough, not too long ago, I don't know if I had seen it before, but I just refreshed my recollection and memory with the viewing of a video of the takeover when they had the CO up on the tier, and I looked at it from a whole different perspective than I would have ever seen that in my life, because I'll share with you, a lot of you recently, that the first child that I ever was responsible for being a father of, who is my oldest birth daughter, Curtis's and Genesis' big brother, Steven, just recently became a CO. Like, he's going through the very final stages of being an official correctional officer. So when I saw this video, I kind of looked familiar, but I wasn't sure. When I saw it though the other day, even if it was for the first time or the other time, it seemed like the first time. That thing was crazy up in there. Also blew my mind that I had to go to the comments to realize where they were, because everybody was neighborhood this, neighborhood, crip this, crip that, woo, wop, wop, wop. Slightly off or different from LA, just natural lingo. I can tell just they not quite LA cats, but you couldn't tell quite where they was from. So I'm not surprised that they're from the Midwest versus down south, because it wasn't no down south and no accent. So I'm like, and the way they was banging, they only thing, the numbers, they was like, the streets didn't ring no bell to me. I'm pretty familiar with just about everything LA County based, so when they neighborhood and all that, but when they saying they streets, I'm like, yeah, they out of town somewhere, but you couldn't quite tell. They posture, demeanor, movements were quite reminiscent of how the homies get down. But they did woo doohickey in the dorm, bro. And from the reports, I believe one of the main dudes who was involved ended up losing his life. Rest in peace to him. But it seemed like they were rebelling against the conditions of the actual jail, which were inhabitable for humans. If you listen to the report and seen some of the footage that they were trying to point out. However, they took it upon themselves to, at some point, somehow, it doesn't really give you that much. They ended up taking possession or hostage a CO and took his keys and started letting a whole lot of other inmates out and running the tier. And they ended up bringing it back up, and they was trying to make demands. And so the fact that you said that you believe that the Oklahoma City County Jail is the worst jail on the planet, I can under and understand why you might reach that conclusion. However, I really was assuming that you were saying the country. But bro, I don't think you understand. You go to Mexico, there's inmates with guns, knives. They have parties on the weekend where women can come and you can, and it's really wild and wide open. And if you are an individual, from my under and understanding, from what I've been told, that doesn't have outside interest to come in to make sure you eat, they don't just feed you 3 hots in a cot. Nah, they got stores in there. You're gonna have to figure out how to get you some dollars together and feed yourself. So I don't know about on the planet. I don't know if you ever read a book or heard of a book or a movie called The Midnight Express. I believe that's what it was. It's about a Turkish prison a long time ago, about an American kid who, instead of going to college, which was his plan for the majority of his life as a youth and through high school, and what his parents would have desired him to do, and then at the time when he was supposed to be going into college, he decided that he would rather spend some time traveling the world. Totally innocent as far as criminal and all these type of things, that he was no negative guy, wasn't trying to do anything wrong. He just wanted to travel the world before embarking on a 4-year journey into his education. However, he went to Turkey and realized how cheap hashish, a derivative of marijuana or some type of associated product of marijuana, is. And he feel like he which would not in any sense comparable to cartel type weight or anybody trying to get no money, but for somebody that might be a pothead or a casual smoker that ran into a hell of a deal, he got a quantity. I think it's like a pound or something of that nature. Long story short, He ended up spending long years and getting tortured and beat and ended up having relationships. He was in love with a woman from America, but he ended up having relationships with men in prison based on a lot of the turmoil and the position he found himself in. But if you read the conditions or learn the conditions that was taking place out there in Turkey, and in Turkish prisons, I don't know, when you say the planet is a very, very large place, and I'm not familiar with all the prisons, but I can agree with you that the Oklahoma City County Jail does get active. They way out crazy stuffuses. You might not be familiar, but it was a time in the 90s when my homies, just by brand name, the East Coasters, was at a level 4 yard. Was it at Calipat? I believe it was at Calipat, but they had tripped on a homie, and allegedly, supposedly, handful of my homies got right, got something in their hand and went to the program office and got busy on the authorities. Not only did I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that's what prompted them to separate the level 4 yards the way they do. Like, there's gates separate like each building. Like, each building is like got their own yard, got a gate around it. But the homies went in there and did their stuff. So when I watched that Oklahoma City jail thing, and you say the worst place on the planet, the filthiness don't compare to what I seen in the downtown LA Men's Central Jail, where your cellmate is big ass rats on a regular basis. We call them Freeway Freddy, because they run that freeway. You see them running slow. They don't run, they walk. And then outside of that, the violence that you say that I saw in that video, I know some homies that's responsible for similar violence, but in the prison system though. On my mama, not celebrating, glorifying any of that, just sharing from experience. Even when you read the Bible, you hear accounts of murders, rapes, jail experiences, violences. Even the first tale of the first two brothers ended in a murder. So please don't confuse my sharing of any, bit of history that might contain violence as me glorifying it. It's just me trying to give an accurate account of what actually transpired. But if you do get it misconstrued, I don't give a motherfucker.
He told me he gonna pay my motherfucking money last motherfucking week. I ain't seen this motherfucker yet. I'm not gonna chase this motherfucker for my 35 motherfucking dollars. I called the motherfucker 4 motherfucking times, but the motherfucker won't call me back. I called his mama the other motherfucking day. She gonna play like the motherfucker went in. Oh, Lord, to cut her motherfucking ass out. But I don't want no motherfucking trouble.
Press
But
play.
I tell you one motherfucker thing. The next motherfucker time I see this motherfucker, and he ain't got my motherfucking money, I'm gonna bust his motherfucking head.
On the real, I give a fucker how a motherfucker feel. Motherfucker bet not fuck with my motherfucking meal. Run a drill, quick way to get a motherfucker killed. Fuck a trial and appeal. What's the motherfucking deal? Mr. Williams got my hand on the motherfucking wheel. Make some millions before I make a motherfucking wheel. You motherfucking right. What's the motherfucking lick? Niggas know going broke or make a motherfucker sick. And a bitch, that's when she leave a motherfucker quick. So she can't do shit but suck my motherfucking dick. And then suck and fuck the whole motherfucking clique. City rabbit, no kids, no motherfucking tricks. Just crips blowing zips, counting motherfucking chips with hollow tips stuffed in they motherfucking clips. Taking trips, leaving big motherfucking tips. You still can't hear, read my motherfucking lips, motherfucker. What up, motherfucker? Motherfucker. Like us, motherfuckers. We don't give a fuck, motherfucker. Motherfuckers, like us motherfuckers, we don't give a fuck, motherfucker. What the fuck? You just did 10 in the pen, motherfucker.
Damn nigga, where you been? Oh, you did 10 in the pen, huh?
That's the homie from the hood. We rolled them motherfuckers together. Cuz caught a case and told them motherfuckers loose lips sink ships. Control the motherfuckers. You gon' claim these dirty streets, then patrol the motherfuckers. Catch your enemy slipping in them. Blow the motherfucker. Motherfuckers ain't knowing. Gotta show the motherfuckers. I ain't like to square off. I stole on motherfuckers. Motherfuckers stole on me just like I stole on motherfuckers. Motherfucker. It's on the motherfucking set. Ask about a motherfucker. I'm a motherfucking vet. Ain't met a motherfucker around this motherfucker yet that can ever say they see me off a motherfucking wet motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Somebody said, why ain't see my comments low? I don't know. The Blue Wrench Mob is in here regulating the comments on my behalf. They think like I think. So if it wasn't appropriate for them, you're not going to see it. A lot of times YouTube like a cloud your comment and give the moderators the opportunity to clear it or delete it. So if the comment wasn't up to their approval, perhaps that could be the reason you did not see it manifest visible for everyone to see. However, I don't know, homie. I didn't see your comment. Can't really say. That is something that is possible to take place here in the Black Box with VJ Keyway, aka Bay Machiavelli, on the Wake and Bake Show. Oh, my mama. Some people consider us a news show. Never ever in my life did I assume that I was developing or participating in a news show. The first time, and it's a funny story if you ask me, that I heard myself referenced to as a news story was, I remember seeing Daz post, shout out Daz, Eastside Business, Long Beach, but he had posted something promoting Wake and Bake, and he and I had just like got cool to the point where we communicated, we worked together after years of a strain, those that know, we wasn't getting along for years and years. But I had the opportunity to where I bumped into Cuz and I made it my business to make sure I buried that hatchet as deep as it can get, just based on old energy. Was never really no lines crossed other than little verbal whoop wop, whatever, you know what I'm saying, Cuz a Crip. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, the way I bumped into him, didn't expect to. I just felt like that was the thing to do. So we had been like, cool for a minute. Then I see him promoting the Wake and Bake. I hit Cuz, text Cuz, hey Cuz, I seen him like the little picture of what he was doing, right? The Wake and Bake thing. And I'm like, hey Cuz, I got a show every morning called the Wake and Bake. Woo, wah, 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 wah. And I'm thinking Cuz gonna tell me explain why, try to whatever I expect. He say, oh, it's cool. He giving me a pass to have one too. I'm like, he yeah, mine ain't news. It's something different. I'm like, damn. So from the outside in, this is news. However, I don't think the people who really call us news realize, if you go back, that's the reason why I leave a few of them white wall sessions up on the channel. Just so people can see where this started from, and you can see the metamorphosis and the natural, organic progress and the journey and the evolution that we went through, because we ain't here to report on no news. I'm here going live, hollering at the Google gang, chopping it up with them about, the different things that they might have interest to ask me in an interview fashion. I initially started out grabbing the content out of the comments, you digitalize. And then that's when I felt like I was finding myself in a lot of irresponsible positions of saying things that I naturally didn't get the opportunity to think through. So I kind of switched it up, and instead of being on the spot and answering in real time, now I take the submissions in my DM. So it may appear as if these are things that I'm personally interested in, and I went digging in the crates and researching, and I got these subjects and I'm bringing them in front of the people to report them. But however, I'm just really going through my DM, and instead of taking the content out of the comments, I'm getting it out the DM, and I'm just giving my response. I do very little to no research on the majority of the subjects that we discuss. Depending on the nature of the subject, I may click on and read just to get myself, familiar with it. But I'm very little interested in 90% of the things that we discuss. But I thought that was funny how Daz was telling me when I'm telling him, I don't think it's cool you using my title. He telling me it's cool that you using mine. I'm like, cuz I've been doing this shit for like a year and a half, 2 years. He's like, I've been working on mine for 10. And then I just like, say less. And I see whatever it is, he really cooking it, because every now and then it still surfaces. It ain't went away. I'm very interested to see what it's all about. I seen him and Corrupt on some type of promo for it recently. Oh, my mama, though, like, I want to get y'all thoughts on this. These people, apparently, obviously, are not from America, but the ones reacting, I can't even tell by the tone of their hand if they're even black or not. I could almost assure you that the female isn't, but the male, perhaps the way he's reacting may or may not be. However, they describe what we about to see as racist. I want to know, I don't know if I consider it racist. I want to know, or is it even inappropriate? Or let's see it. Guess I give you a couple of thoughts, but I'm interested in y'all thoughts. Please wet the comments up with y'all thoughts. Think about it before you speak, though. Oh, mama.
Prisoners
This feels racist.
that used to sag their pants.
This feels very racist,
It
guys.
is, look,
Balenciaga.
even socks.
Kai. They have woven the boxers inside the trouser.
Inside.
Kai.
Interesting. Extremely, very, very interesting. I don't know how racist that is. However, that not being a black-owned company, more than likely, that is promoting and benefiting from that design, I do think that that's where it becomes inappropriate, not necessarily negatively, like there's a shot being thrown or anything done negative toward a group of people like us that's sad. However, I think that the opportunity to benefit from that, whether it should be saved for, I think it would be more ideally suited for someone of the culture that popularized that style, which is not typically necessarily the case in a lot of things. Everything that starts as culturally ours, once it gets popularized, it gets corporate, and then it changes the whole essence of it. This blows my mind, because this is a thought that I've had in my mind for years that I would push out of my mind because I thought it was ridiculous. Thought everyone else would think it was ridiculous. I can't believe, lo and behold, in 2021, they have pants to where you don't have to actually sag, but you can get the look of sagging because it's fashionable. Do you know how my mother, my grandmother, my mama, and my mama, God bless her soul, they single-handedly one thing they have had to tell me through the years repeatedly in correction is, boy, pull your pants up. I remember being in Pathfinders in different environments. God bless his soul, Brother George Jones, walking up behind me and just pulling my pants up. Pull your pants up. I remember when sagging was the worst thing you could possibly do. What I do salute and applaud is the fact that they're not doing the boxer briefs. Not quite sure how that would work. This is more typical of the original style of sagging that I was involved in. I still find myself sagging somewhat sometime. I try not to. It's just a comfort level that I've found through the years, to where my pants just feel more comfortable that way. I never understood why males would want to sag and then have their rear side exposed through shapely underwear. we always had the puffy look. So I could definitely appreciate the fact that it's looking like that. But you probably can imagine that the other look is coming. I just couldn't realize it's not going to look right if it's not actually on that part of your body. So this mimics the original style. I don't know if it's racist. I don't know if it's cool. I just would have preferred, you know, I'm not even here to judge sagging. Y'all going way off topic by saying pull your pants up and all that. That's not the subject. We're not here to debate whether sagging is cool or not. Sagging exists. And now there's a fashion brand mimicking it and benefiting from it. More likely than not, one of the cultures of the people that popularized it. Whether it's cool or not, I'm just interested in your thoughts as to whether or not you think it's racist, or if it's another yet cultural, what do you call it, statement, experience, establishment of ours that's been taken. You know, these are the things that come to my mind other than it being racist. Because I don't know how you can consider something racist when you provide something that typically appeals to what you see certain people do. You don't put a certain brand or name on it. If I see a common trend of a large group of individuals, because sagging is not just us anymore. Our spirit, the same way you see Hispanics and even whites on videos talking about my nigga, and when they get mad, it's nigga this and nigga that. A lot of the practices of those said niggas have also transcended into the other cultures. So sagging, although it was originated by us, thanks to hip hop, it just our influence in the seasoning that we provide, good and bad, on the world. It has also been adopted by cultures or individuals that are not originally from our culture. So they're making it for profit. And my initial thought is, if it was going to be done, damn, why not us? One of us. You feel me? Because regardless of how lonely the road get or has gotten, one thing I have done and shall remain to do is stick to the script on my mama.
Later, like, get it later. Don't even trip right now. Yeah. I'm more fatal than a twirling tornado. No, I'm playing. But that's hip hop. From the ES shooting on the set to CBS shooting on the set. This time I ain't mad at the cold case. Fact check, fake tats of the old face. No records, still did numbers. Plats grew like weeds this summer. It's been on ever since I paroled. When me and Master P got blows, California. Tell Raj what's happening. Ask what I'm doing, tell him I'm just rapping. Don't just son, give a fuck what you think of it. Broke a little bread with my bank brothers. I still look out for the rollers. You'll get it later, look out for the rollers. I caught a cold case, then I paroled. Accidentally don't just son, damn I was low. Every day it's a new episode. Ever since a young man I was told, no matter what happens, stick to the script. Scrapping a cabin, stick to the script. Rapping or acting, stick to the script. Now it's lights, camera, action, I stick to the script. I'm no soprano, more like a baritone or a tenor. No pasta for dinner. Hijacking airplanes, shooting a pilot. Till they holler cut, we just shooting a pilot. Producers choose when I walk in the room. All I gotta do is talk in the boom. If the script ain't tight, Spider gon' hike. I'm like, damn, now the writers on strike. They didn't let the sag in sag. They tell me since you got the swagger, then swag sounds stupid. Calling something this handsome ugly. It don't look good cause the camera love me. Black, white, Latin, it all be ass. They see me on the screen so they call me Cash. Might say CJ or Delante. I feed them well, my meat be the entree. I caught a cold case, then I paroled. Accidentally don't just son, damn I was low. Every day it's a new episode. Ever since a young man I was told, no matter what happens, stick to the script. Scrapping a cabin, stick to the script. Rapping or acting, stick to the script. Now it's lights, camera, action, I stick to the script. You'll get it later. later once you see the visual. Meantime, you should see the residuals. Money guaranteed like COD. Hollywood look good for my POV. Nowadays, hip-hop boo-boo commercial. Don't do that, but I do commercials. Catch me on rollers with a brick in the panel. When that go off, keep flicking the channel. Satellite, Comcast, Direct TV, anything HD, expect to see me. Might get an Emmy before I get a Grammy. Hustler, I was born with an Emmy. Came in the game to tell my vision. Now you see my name on the television. Life like a trip, trying to get to the grip. Don't flip for the chips, stick to the script. I caught a cold case, then I paroled. Accidentally domed the sun, damn, I was blowed. Every day it's a new episode. Ever since a young man, I was told, no matter what happens, stick to the script. Scrapping a cabin, stick to the script. Rapping or acting, stick to the script. Now it's lights, camera, action, I stick to the script.
So he hating, trying to get me off the screen because Lil Mama think I'm clean. See what I mean? Just chase your green. Both of them dollars and them buds. I'm a fiend. Stay on the scene. 501 jeans. Never doing splits, looking back like Sheen. Oh, blah. I that Suge Knight in the red. Huh? Man, I don't, Ricky Bobby. I don't think about it whatsoever. Not one bit. Really pay no attention, very, very little attention to any man on the internet that get discombobulated because he infatuated with man nipples. You shouldn't either. The fact that you have that concern on your mind should make you do some introspective evaluation and figure out why you would even pay that any attention. Oh, mama. You must not know who I am to even give that any, like, consideration on my mama. Y'all know whether or not Cassandra is involved with this lawsuit that apparently African Bambatta is going through? I ain't click on it, but y'all sent it to me quite a few times, and not interested in your opinion, Ricky Bobby, at all. I don't care what seems good to you at all, not one bit. But they say they bringing charges. It didn't seem like charges, and that's what confused me. How do you get involved in litigation where you are accused of I don't know if I saw the word trafficking, but sexual misconduct with minor boys, and there's no criminality involved in the proceedings? And it seems like that's what it's about. Like, that's not what it's about. It's only about a lawsuit, a civil issue. You keep hearing about at the highest levels how dark some of the most popular, influential, seemingly lily white personalities that we're familiar with are being accused of participating and inviting and being involved in some very dark things when it comes to this subject. And some of the names are so shocking that your subconscious immediately tells you that it got to be BS. Because sometimes the stories go as bizarre as drinking blood and sacrifices and the names are presidential a lot of times. And it's like, yeah, whatever. But if this guy can fall up under so much suspicion and accusation for doing what he's being accused of doing, and then to the extent that here it is years later, there is actual litigation being brought against him, yet it lacks a criminal element, it goes to speak toward the priorities of the legal system in this country. Oh, my mama. And what I've tend to realize about trends and things that are popularized beyond the control of it, what seems the majority, higher up, there must be a nucleus core group of people that are quite influential that share the interests of said agenda. And this is the only way you can see, if you just had a real mental evaluation of the masses, concepts, trends, and even mandates and laws being pushed upon the people when it seems like the majority of them do not desire it. The only way that can transpire so effectively is, from my assessment, the very influential people at the top that desire to see these agendas prosper and move forward in certain fashions. They have to be highly saturated on those levels. And then from there, the trickle down of their interests, the trickle down of their effect, the trickle down effect of their interests matriculates all throughout society. And before you know it, you're conforming to concepts, customs that you don't necessarily agree with, because this is what society mandates. But I'm very interested to see if Cassandra is going to involve herself, or if she has involved herself in the litigation process at all. From what I can ascertain, shout out to CT. I found myself sliding through a gang of videos on Facebook of the same dude. Went down a rabbit hole, and he do reaction videos. And his catchphrase right before he goes into his analyzation, I wasn't realize before you realize that it's a catchphrase, he says it the same exact little twang. And from what I can ascertain, and that's why I found myself saying that. But from what I can ascertain, Cassandra's been the most popular visual, vocal, apparent victim, if we want to, self-proclaimed victim of these type of activities from Bambatta. So I couldn't imagine that they would be able to move forward, or would be interested in moving forward with such a campaign without including his input. So that would be interesting, definitely. If he is guilty of what he's accused of, I hope he get his issue. And then when he get where he going, I hope he really get his issue. Oh, my mama, that's just me though. However, I don't know nothing about him. I only seen a few clips of what Cassandra said. If he was doing a lot of those things to young boys, yeah, he needs his issue. However, the controversy with Cassandra was his relationship post these activities. There's a gap in his life where he said he experienced these things as a youth. Then he went on to be this notorious gangster. And after that transition, he still found himself friendly with Bambatta and amongst his company, and supportive and apparently affectionate. And that's not saying the inappropriate type of affection, but he shared a fondness, a love, and appreciation for this man long after he became an adult, and according to him, began to get busy. And that's the part that's real puzzling about his experience and his claims. It's a little different than just the allegation of a grown man taking advantage of a minor, period. What it appears to be with Hassandra is more of an experience, a relationship, a connection, a two-way street that once the interest perhaps shifted from Bambatta's side, there's some type of disdain that he experienced and that developed. But he talked about it so much. I know, he's been in the police station on camera. I know he tried to play the tough role, but he need to go on down there and participate and tell his story and be the witness that we know that he's capable of being, because the real victims, whether you're one or not, the real victims of a predator need your voice. You done cashed in and established yourself as a personal, a public personality off the sad story of these other young men. Now go sit up on that stand and tell that same story for their benefit. Actually, help them out. You know what I'm talking about?
Gone. Cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Gone. Cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. I swear, no more calling or texting or either. Experience has always been an excellent teacher. I admit, I admire the elegant features. Equally flattered by the fact she let a felon intrigue her. It felt like love, I fell in it eager. But after telling them lies, I could never believe her. At one point, really thought we was forever, just like everybody else that used to see us together. But whatever, let it burn. Live and you learn. Your biggest concern has always been what you can get in return. Stay stuck on stupid, overstating your status. Reality TV stars motivating the madness. Just gone. Cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Gone. Cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Yeah, I heard the phone ring and I could've responded just like that was your ring and you shouldn't have pondered. I'm humble but uncomfortable with this verbal confrontation. Heard what you had to say and deserve some consolation. To pinpoint the problem, it's a combination of your negative attitude and conversation. Playing detective, hacking my passwords, immature, always make sure you had a last word. Bringing up your ex, trying to compare us, apparently unaware but don't care. I find it embarrassing, face to face, flesh to flesh. Feel no affection or reflection, I can tell we killed the connection. So just gone, cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Gone, cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. That ain't cute. Always trying to hit every blunt. Barely wanna get your nails done every month. Look out insubordinate, ignorant, and hard you in. Was you venting or trying to kill me in the argument? Go on, snap the screenshots. Who you gon' show though? Me and your folk don't even talk no more. You the type to convince me I'm literally the best you ever had, and turn around and try to belittle me with that same old sarcastic smart opinion when I'm speaking from the heart like you hard of hearing. Swatch nothing to chunk up a deuce to you and get back to bust the bitches like I used to do. So just gone, cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Gone, cut all that drama out. Take that back to your mama house. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth, that's just what I'm talking about.
Somebody say, can you do the Lost Tapes 2? Lost Tapes 2, You Ain't Heard Volume 2, something of that nature is coming soon. It's heavy on my mind. Before we get to the phone line, we got a couple of callers in the queue. However, y'all hit me with the story over and over again, which didn't really catch my interest much until I realized it took place in Woodland Hills, which is a suburb adjacent to Los Angeles, California. But Chief Keef has an artist named Boss Moo, I believe is how you pronounce it, BOSSMOO, who has reportedly lost his life, bless cuz, rest his soul, and in an incident that is being described as a murder-suicide that took place out here. And the murder-suicide involved himself, his girl. He is reportedly the trigger man in the incident. I actually, like I say, sometimes I read, sometimes I don't. I actually read an article on this story, and I just wanted to get some real insight into what actually took place before I spoke on it, just based on the sensitivity of the incident and the nature of the events. And while reading the story, they included comments from his fans who were saying that he had been recently struggling with mental health. And they have photos of him and Chief Keef, photos of him on there flashing burners. They mentioned how many followers he had on Instagram to give an idea of his popularity. He had 28,000 followers according to the report. But once again, similar to the other young artists, a female, and his relationship with a female is seemingly attached to his decision to take his life. This time, not just his life, but the life of the female that his affections were the subject of. And, you know, I am one to be able to relate to the fact that when it comes to being in love and breaking up and heartbreak hurts, it's some of the most intangible feelings of pain that compares to actual tangible pain that you can imagine. It's like hard to explain to anyone who hasn't gone through it. It's just as hard, if not harder, to watch a child go through it. Once you've been through it and you know the actual ache that your soul can experience, and then you watch a child go through it, you have no idea the trauma that you then internalize or eternally experience. But never worth, for one, taking someone else's life. I couldn't imagine, there wasn't much detail provided as to what the exact motive or inspiration of his anger or displeasure was. They didn't say she cheated on him or she broke up with him, but they said they were experiencing trouble in their relationship. And as a result of that, this is the conclusion that he arrived at. So I just want to say rest in peace to her. Definitely. Send my condolences to her family, her parents, if she had any of her children, but her parents. He was 32 years old. I'm not sure her age. But to her parents, indeed, I could not imagine. Like, I have children who are old enough to, female children who are old enough to date, produce children. And to some extent, you're at the mercy of whatever individuals they choose to allow in their lives, apart from being up under you and, you know, to romantically be involved with and have relations with. You're at the mercy of, you know, hoping, wishing, praying that they're far more on side of regular than what we see here. I have a son-in-law. I use that term for lack of a better word, my granddaughter's father. And I'm probably the first father figure he's actually had in his life. And since he and my daughter have blessed me with a grandchild, he's found himself in some legal troubles. And they're quite similar to a lot of the legal troubles that I found myself in at his age. And prior to him being aware that I even knew that he was experiencing certain troubles, I had the opportunity to think about how I was going to react and respond when my daughter is the one calling bail's bondsmen and going down to the county jail for the visits, similar to how some of my other children's mother have done for me. And I had a real opportunity to look within and be real honest with life before I ever spoke to him, her, or ever gave any type of reaction to the developments. And he was finding himself in quite a bit of trouble, repetitive trouble. But, you know, what I did allow myself to do, and I'm very grateful that I was able to reach this position. To this day, I've passed no judgment. I realize that is one of the most least effective elements that can be added to the situation. Like I say, from experience, similar age, I made a lot of the same foolish decisions, found myself in very big trouble. And the support that I received from my parental figures was lack of judgment. And I was better raised, if you just look at the typical structure and effort of my parents, to ensure that I never went down certain paths. So although it's not my birth son, I just found myself being supportive. You know what I'm saying? We need to holler at a lawyer. You want me at court, I'm there. Things of that nature. But I couldn't imagine. I remember a time when my daughter, she gonna kill me for sharing this, but she was staying with me, you know, before my grandbaby, before the pregnancy or anything. And I remember she was in the room just arguing, boo-hoo crying, going off on cuz. And like sounding so hurt, so violated, so crushed. And I remember the phrase that I heard her keep saying, like, so you just don't care? That's all you're gonna say? So I am totally uninvolved in their business. Never ever get in their business. It's something I, you know, trained myself to do, and I mastered it. However, this day, I made myself, I couldn't help it. I got up, I went in the room, and made her put the phone on speaker silently, without giving him any indication that her environment changed at all. And I just wanted to listen to what he was saying that caused her to be in such disdain. And as I listened, his input was so innocent. And I love you, baby. And I deemed her disposition to be such an overreaction to what he was saying and how he was responding toward her. I developed a trust in his tenderness toward my daughter that I couldn't imagine him violating or dealing with anything of this nature. So my heart really goes out to the parents involved, if no one else, and to the young people, old people. It ain't that deep, it ain't that serious. Man, boys, little homies, that thing snap and pop. I know when she get to kissing on you and moaning and all that, it seems like she created that energy just for you. No sir, it belongs to her. 9 times out of 10, it will be issued out to others other than yourself before it's all said and done. You have to understand that and accept it. That's just a little game for me, myself, VJ Keyway, in the Black Box, Bay Machiavelli. I am not trying to be no hero, and you need to be your own hero, but to yourself, on my mama.
Can't stand off the liquor. Can't understand what he's saying like Twister. 7 grams in his hand, still trying to twist up. Niggas like, damn, with the pipe it done mixed up. A case of Jay-Z, 3 leaves of sweet. The scoop is in my pocket, watch the sheet to produce. Hit the blue room, let the demons loose. The smell of sulfur on the mic when I breathe in the booth. I got him curling toes, trying to squeeze in the boots. But to get where I'm at, you might need a boost. With anything close competition, maybe them, but to me's another reason to shoot. Plus the probation with the sheriff is done. I'm licensed up, got back the register's done, so I can murder every DJ. Soon as your record is sponge, seal the case and get the register sponge.
If you are the flesh, then I am the bone. When you back out, still go on. Don't see me stopping, so you think it's hard to believe. I'm something like a hero. I'm stronger than you. Like a hero.
I puff on the fruity branch, clutch figures move with champs, bust on the booty clan, plus get that booty tang, rush in and do your camp, us niggas cool as fans, touch wisdom, rule the land, tough kids is hooligans, struck when I do advance, lust for them new sedans, plus rooms and dudes that glare. I'm rough, y'all should move in pairs. Mad women like them now, black down with spider now, master the tiger style, I'm faster than cycles, wow. I'm deep and I'm so moist, don't beef with me homeboy, I leave you with no choice, speak with a gold voice, 7 steps to darkness,
That's right.
Rhetoric is flawless. Where did they get this author? Heaven sent him for you. Y'all click sweeter than cough drops. I'm sick. What I spit is equal to smallpox. And they believe in they all pop before drop. Before the greatness of artists is more hot.
If you are the flesh, then I am the bone.
Shady DJ. DJ.
You think it's hard to believe. I'm something like a hero. I'm stronger than you. Like a hero.
No brain, I was trained in the truth. I bang in the booth, drop the top on the coupe and let the rain in the roof. Might take a brief moment to roll me a blunt. Put the flame to the front right before I chief on it. I don't run from the beef, I done fought with the pork. You ain't punching no lungs, you was caught with a fork. Obscene speaking, must wanna see my green fall. Problem with the homie, should've kept it between y'all. I take it personal, the bitter with the sweet. I still jump out on feet with the spitter in the street. I see a few thousand every couple of lines. I'm on the grind, rap just one hustle of mine. You find it difficult to swallow my hood rep. Looking pitiful, trying to follow my footsteps. With Doja, that's twice as gay as 4 fags. No pass, I want your ass on toe tag.
If you are the flesh, then I am the bone. When you back out, still go on. Don't see me stopping, so you think it's hard to believe. I'm something like a hero. I'm stronger than you. Like a hero.
Hero, SPI featuring Hero. Available on all digital platforms. We got 2 callers on the line. Callers, y'all can announce yourself. Who we got? Who we got on the line? 323-818. Holla at the low. Cat got the tongue. I had something on my mind anyway. But first, he said if we don't teach our boys how to be masculine, then they'll learn it from people like the manosphere or MGTOW, and we certainly don't want that to happen. Not familiar with neither of those terms, manosphere or MGTOW. I am familiar with the concept and the idea of teaching our boys to be masculine. I am very curious and interested to realize and understand how much room is allowed for that.
I'm still in queue.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We got that going on, y'all. For some reason, it ain't translating from the phone lines again. I don't know why that happens randomly, rarely. 213, can you hear me?
Yo.
Can you live? You hear me?
Yo, can you hear me, Spider Love?
I can hear all y'all, but y'all not hearing me real time. It's not
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Talk to me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, what's up, Loco? It's Lil Cash from Barnhurst, man. We talked a little bit online when I talked about the homie, Big Cornbread. What's going on?
Neighborhood. I grew up on. I grew up on Brian.
Hey, I got a battle cat, man. I got this dope ass West Coast beat that ain't never been done before. I'm trying to get it into the hands of the homies, man. I don't know Motherfucker too busy, but I'm trying to get that beat to somebody, man.
Can you
That motherfucker gotta go out there.
Can you send it to my DM on Instagram?
Yeah, I don't think we talked though, homie. You might got me twisted with somebody else, homie, but it's all good though.
He telling me, nah, see.
You're Spider, right?
Nah, look, y'all. This is Spider. Look, this is what's going on. Look, this is what's going on, y'all.
I'm trying to get the beat out to him. I talked to Battle Cat. I guess he's busy. But yeah, man, I talked to him in person, Battle Cat. I'm trying to get this beat out, man. Dope ass West Coast beat, man. That ain't never been done before, man. It's in the vault. I'm trying to get it out.
I don't look. I don't know why. Look, I'm gonna do this. 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 Look, y'all, I shut down the lines because for some reason,
thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Y'all seen what was happening?
Goodbye.
They wasn't hearing me real time. That ain't the first time that's happened. I restarted and see if that'll help. But to old boy that was talking about the beat, you have no idea. I'm looking for a specific special beat for a certain project currently. I don't know why. I would assume your energy is telling me it might be up that lane. If you can get at me in my Instagram DM, which is Spiderlope Most Easty, the number 7 on IG, I would be very interested in hearing what that sounded like if it's all that like you saying. However, I'm gonna start these phone lines over. But like I was saying before we was interrupted with the technical difficulties, I forgot. No, what he had said, cuz had said something that attributed. Hey, oh my mama, Andre, good looking. Who is that? That's AK? Oh, our boys about being masculine. I am very curious as to how masculine are we allowed to motivate our young men to be? How much masculinity are we allowed to promote? I wonder if this right here, this image, is considered offensive. And I know it should not be, but I think we all can agree that typically, more likely than not, this image that I'm about to show would be or could be definitely considered offensive in today's society. Although I think in 100% nature, especially in comparison to images of the opposite sentiment, it is far from offensive. But is there anything wrong with feeling like this? Like, just thinking about being a male or female who doesn't have any children. Is there something wrong with your vision of the American dream being, I would love to have a child, a boy, carry my name on, and give me some grandchildren, somebody I can teach and raise and teach how to be a man, a strong man. Is that wrong? Because they have a motivation in the movement that is going toward the direction of leaving birth certificates void of a gender assignment. Didn't mean to do that on the camera. Regardless of the genitalia, you know what? You know, humanity in general agrees what nature designates. They already exist. I don't know how broad the practice is going to eventually become. However, I am aware that in grades as low as the 8th grade in the public school system in the LA Unified School District, when you register your children for school in 2021, the area where you used to check male or female has now more than like 4 options for you to choose, even on that level of life. So I think that's very, 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 very interesting. It's neither Tuesday nor is it Friday. But it's good music any day. This me and my boy Blue Smurf. I'm Baby Spider, so for this effort, we kind of say we BS and BS on that BS. Oh yeah, Trey Legend, TL on the hook. Oh yeah, Confused is the title. It's available on all digital platforms. Tap in and tap out.
G and the Russian cream. Whole team counting thousands, it was just a dream. Big blunts to the neck, get me high quick. In the trap, watching shotters on the 5-stick. 4K, 60-something on the inside. Pastrami and chili on the French fries. Piecing up for the homies on the inside. Evil East side, in hood, could've been died. Liberated, cause the paid lawyer litigated. Mitigated, keep the cognac refrigerated. Getting faded in a 5-star, niggas hate it. Last time I demonstrated it was nickel plated. He ain't had no win against the 4 fin. Just went on one, and I'm down to go again. But then, I'd rather sip tequila. Kick my feet up, turn the beat up, never put my heat up on E.
I'm thinking it's a Friday, but it's really only Tuesday. Sipping tequila, kicking my feet up, turning my feet up. Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's a Friday, but it's really only Tuesday. Sipping tequila, kicking my feet up, turning my feet up. Oh yeah, banging me some OJs, thinking about the old days. Kicking my feet up just like a boss do. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Friday, but it's really only Tuesday. Sipping tequila, kicking my feet up. Oh
Big
yeah.
hands on a baseball cap, I'm from the Mac. Styrofoam cup full of Remy Martin, all cognac, no chase. I used to duct tape the 38. Brothers hanging out where they safe on a Tuesday. Patron bottles, Magnum hollers, we get it in. Active like every day, not only on the weekend. Baby say she can't swim, just put your feet in. Take a shot of this tequila and stay away from the deep end. For depth though, I'm too deep in. Mafia, on that BS, Blue Smurf and Baby Spotter. Gold rag around my neck or in my pocket, can't give it up. Blam on me in the function, wish I would put it up. Got me turned up, thinking about the old days. Homie and op, remember all my head up fast. But then, I'd rather chill and kick my feet up. Mafias and ECs, the real riders link up.
I'm thinking it's a Friday, but it's really only Tuesday. Sipping tequila, kicking my feet up, turning my feet up. Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's a Friday, but it's really only Tuesday. Sipping tequila, kicking my feet up, turning my feet up. Oh yeah, banging me some OJs, thinking about the old days. Kicking my feet up just like a boss do. Yeah.
Shout out to my local Blue Smurf, my artist, is Baby Back Business. On that second verse, he been the anchor on my last 3 videos. He cleans up quite well. I am a fan. We got a 213 caller on the line. Anybody around the world know 213 represents out here by us. What it do, caller? Because you know 213 is only cell phones. I know we only all on cell phones. It don't really indicate where you at no more. What it do?
Yeah, what's going on? What's up, man? This is my first time on the live, bro. I'm digging what you're saying. You're talking real positive. Yeah, I just wanted to explain to you, man, what the Manosphere is, and don't you should be aware of it. The Manosphere is an online group that supposedly practices leadership for men, and men supposed to be a space for men to learn, but it also promotes misogyny, particularly toward black women, and they can get very toxic masculine.
When you say misogyny, when you say misogyny, what type of indicators of misogyny? Because that's a word that is so vague, and it's not even an issue that most people take up these days. So, you being a black male and being offended by the misogyny, what type of things have been said, or what happens over there that would call them misogynist to the point where you would be anti their movement?
Well, the brutality they have toward black women in particular, it's very anti-black women, and I've listened to a lot of the dudes that are a part of that movement. They're very anti-black women. They promote other groups of women over black women, and it's just very brutal. Groups like MGTOW came about, like men go their own way. That's what MGTOW stands for.
Say, what does it stand for again?
And men go their own way.
So, but they are, as far at least in theory, about promoting masculinity?
Well, toxic masculinity, yeah.
Now, that's a phrase that really blows my mind because I'm not familiar with your character whatsoever. So, I imagine in general there is a masculinity that can be deemed as toxic, But they've used that phrase to classify typical masculinity. Anything unapologetic, black, firm, non-feminine, heterosexual, and uncompromising has been deemed as toxic masculinity. So you're speaking kind of general. So I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you being a thinker. I appreciate your perspective and you being concerned about the well-being of us in general overall. However, I'm not familiar with that platform enough to say I can feel where you're coming from because I'm totally unfamiliar with them. I would have to you feel me? But I appreciate you appreciating me and my input, even though, I don't even necessarily agree. So I just appreciate a thinker, man. We need thinkers amongst us. And as well as thinkers, we need speakers. We need speakers that are not afraid to speak what we actually think. Although you have to be tactful because we are utilizing their channels and their platforms and their airwaves. So you have to be tactful in all that you do in order not to cut your overall message short. However, there is some responsibility, sacrifice, and courage involved with speaking on the better behalf of us. So I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir, man. This is the real man, man, and yeah, no problem, bro.
You when you say that, do you believe that in the sense of hell, Jesus coming back, or a reset? Or are you just looking from is that a biblical declaration that is the end times, or are you just looking at the current state of? It's like this. This is what I look at. If you're in a speeding car, the brakes aren't working, and there's a brick wall 30 feet ahead of you, the probability of you having a collision is pretty high mathematically. It's like pretty much nothing you can do. That's what I look at when I look at the progression of what we would consider modern society in America. I don't necessarily know if I agree and believe that the end of the world in the sense that what I was taught biblically. However, I don't believe that the progression of humanity, and I'm only basically looking through the eyes of America because I am not familiar with the practices abroad to the extent to really pass judgment. However, I realize here, the way that things are going, I don't believe they can continue at this pace toward that brick wall and still.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, you feel me? Yeah, so I feel you that.
And to answer your question.
Go ahead.
To answer your question, I am a Christian, if that's what you asked, yeah.
Okay, what motivates you to be a Christian other than you were raised that way? I appreciate y'all telling me to wipe my mouth. I ate at Tums and it's like cakey. So go ahead, I'm listening, bro.
Because I've accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior. And actually, Christian is not
Savior. May I ask you your Savior from what in particular?
Eternity in hell.
The hell which He created.
Well, yeah,
I'm trying to make sure I follow you. I'm not challenging you, at least not yet. I'm just asking questions to trigger thought and to make sure I follow you correctly and make sure you're familiar with the facts, familiar with the facts of the statements that you're making. So, you're a Christian because
I would say more like I like to use the term believer, because the word Christian was actually used as an insult, it was a term of mockery.
Okay, we can crucify that term. I'll agree to crucify that term Christian.
So many people are taking the term Christian as a vague statement to think that, we're just good people, but it's more than just being good people.
So when you say believer, then
I hope I'm answering your question, brother.
No, you are. No, because more so than answer the question, which you did not even attempt to, you retracted the Christian. So I can proceed from there because you replaced it with believer. And I will also, since you said no longer Christian, believer, I'm just curious as to know what you believe in as a believer. Yeah, what do you believe in? What classifies you or qualifies you as a believer? Believer means you believe in what? Once again, that Jesus saved you from your hell? See, it went out again. I don't know, y'all. We get on something real, and the lines go out. I don't know. I don't know what I can say, but I ain't gonna force it. So I'm gonna take that as our indication that we have come to the conclusion of our session. I appreciate y'all for tarrying with me for the time that you did do so. I apologize for the technical difficulties that we are experiencing. However, you see how random they transpired. I have not done anything to affect the settings. It's hard for me to even take responsibility other than the fact that I am the one presenting this to you. It may be something bigger than all of us that caused this to go disarray, but anyway, until next time, do me a favor, y'all. Be about y'all marathon at all costs. On my mama, please. And I just have to extend this outro because I had the wrong thing clicked. I don't know why the phone lines did that, y'all. That's f***ed up. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds and I'm at your call. On my mama. We'll run this. But I love y'all, though. I ain't gonna do no outro. We been here. We done did our session. We out of here like last.
That's my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Gang bang active. Really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up. That's my day uno.
Niggas know air since day uno. For rare recitors, and I'ma say puto. And I mean that with all due disrespect to the ops off tops if you diss the set. This man though, I go half on the sack with him. Double back on foot with the Mac with him. Cognac, that's what my joint drank, period. I done seen him do it point blank. Neighborhood for death though, EC on mine. Every time still give my nigga 3 up high. When it's cracking, he usually a trip before me in 03 introduced me to Nip. Got a lot of politics between the two turfs. Choose to keep it mafia like Blue Smurf. Half the time I don't even like her, but I ain't never met a nigga like
That's
her.
my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Gang bang active. Really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up. That's my day uno. So when it come to dying, it ain't nothing. Killing ain't shit either. Enemies know we stay hunting. We know it's wrong, but we love it. Where you wanna take it? We in the streets. We don't mind a little confrontation. Whole lot of gunplay with me and my low. I'm talking pistol with the scopes when we out on patrol. Hunting for domes. My low was a fool when he get it in. Pull up on him like cuz, let's slide and he getting in. Lil Mac down, my bro. Ain't gotta prove a point. It's facts over feelings in my SPI boys. M's be the logo. That's my day uno. We ain't friends. It's only me and cuz in this Benz. Like identical twins. We on that same shit. They unos. Them be the niggas that I bang with. A lot of politics between both gangs, it is what it is. The homies little gang. That's my day uno. Only me and him in his two-door Benz. That's my bro. We don't call each other friends, day uno. Even ride with me to the end. Even let me have the last shot at him. That's my day uno. We stay cracking. And when I die, he one of the niggas carrying my casket. Gang bang active. Really with the shit, stay banged up. My day one ain't never changed up. That's my day uno.
Nigga in that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned.